Howdy, my name's Anna. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you're all having a wonderful day. Today, I wanted to just talk about, I'm not even sure what I'm gonna call this video. I mean, you'll know as you're watching this because I will have decided by then, but as of right now, I'm not sure what I want to call this video, but something to do with things that make me feel good, or things that can change my mood, boost my mood, or make me feel confident, confidence boosters. I'm not sure. It's like just things that will make me feel good. Most of them, things in my control, but a couple things out of my control. So here we go. Let's do this. I actually wrote a list so that I'm not just babbling aimlessly, which that'll happen too. Okay, the first thing, at first I was thinking like, oh, things that make me feel pretty. But I think it's more like things that make me feel good about myself. Anyway, and feeling attractive does make me feel good about myself. So I don't know, they kind of go together. Anyways, the first thing that I thought of was lip gloss, and particularly this gloss that I have been obsessed with lately, and that is this, it's called Glow. It's a glow formula called Creativity from Odin's Eye, and it was a collaboration that they did with Tina the Fancy Face, with their legendary Diversity series, and it was Tina's, I feel like there are so many names of this, like so many parts of what I'm trying to describe that it's getting a little bit lost. Basically, this is called Glow Creativity from Odin's Eye, and I'll put a link below. And this was a collaboration with Odin's Eye and Tina, the Fancy Face. So, and boom, I feel more confident. Except it doesn't really match my look today. It's fine, because it's a little bit more on the warm side, and I think this is a little bit more neutral. Anyways, yeah, this lip gloss I've been obsessed with. There was a better color to use for this. Okay, so this one is just a little bit more on the pink side, and it's the Glow Breath of Fire, which was from Annette's, Annette Oberstadt, I think is her name. Annette, I know her from Annette's Makeup Corner, her YouTube channel. Anyway, this was, oh yeah, that's better. Just for this look, I mean, usually the other one looks great, especially if it's like me barefaced, but anyway, for this look, I think that one was a little better. So the Odin's Eye Glow Glosses, basically, both of those are my favorites. The Glow formula, there were 3 different formulas. The Glow formula is just mwah, chef's kiss. Makes me feel good about myself. And there are different ways to feel good about yourself. This is like a, I'm feeling pretty, I'm feeling attractive, whatever. Okay, so the second thing, if I'm feeling kind of blah and I take a shower, that helps so much. Like I'll come out of the shower and I'm like, oh, I'm clean. It's like starting fresh. Energetically, it's sort of like is a nice cleanse. Like if I'm just feeling stressed out or upset about maybe an interaction, I have social anxiety, so maybe I'm ruminating about something like that. And sometimes that can kind of reset me, just like taking a shower, washing my hair, washing my face, just, I mean, washing my whole self can get me out of a funk. Okay. Ooh, number 3. So this is almost more of like over a long period of time, but getting enough sleep. Oh man, like I will feel so much better, like so much more hinged. I know that's not a word, but sometimes if I don't get enough sleep and I'm just tired or I'm not sleeping well for whatever reason, getting enough sleep can make me feel, when I'm rested, my nervous system is just a little bit more in balance. My hormones are a little bit more in balance. My digestive system is a little bit more in balance. You see where I'm going? It's like getting enough sleep is definitely going to add to my well-being. Maybe this video is about well-being. All right, anyways, another thing that can make me feel good about myself, good lighting. Like this lighting, this is one reason I love the Pacific Northwest. It's often very overcast, which is my favorite. And for lighting, it's perfect because it's like, it's bright, but it's this diffused light. It's not just the sun just attacking me. It's, you know, diffused with this like beautiful vapor, like filter of vapor, water vapor, right? The clouds. So good lighting can make me feel beautiful. It can make me feel good about myself. It can fake me. It can make me feel more confident. Was that a Freudian slip? I don't really believe in Freudian slips, but that was pretty funny. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let me just, to say good lighting makes me feel good. It's like, if you're in bad lighting, if you're just in like fluorescent lighting, like from above, you like glimpse yourself in the mirror, it could be a jump scare, right? Because it's just like the shadows and the color and everything. It's like, no. I mean, that's not what you look like. You look like what you look like when you are feeling good about yourself. Seriously. It's the truth. Carry your favorite photo around with you. Seriously. If you're feeling like dumpy or whatever, and you know, it's all fake. It's all just like how you're feeling. It's not real. Maybe if you look at a picture of when you know you were feeling confident, it'll help. I don't know for sure. I've actually not tried this. It just came to me just now. All right. See, I'm getting off topic even though I have a list. It's just who I am. Okay. Number 5, feeling strong, doing things that make me feel strong. I have recently started taking ballet classes again. I am not good at ballet. I am not built for it. Like, I'm not a ballerina by any stretch of the imagination. However, it's good for building strength. Like, it makes it's good for building strength in my back, in my arms, in my butt, in my legs, in my ankles, in my feet. Like, it's like a whole body building strength. And I do feel stronger since starting ballet. Even doing it once a week just helps that little bit. And it's not, you know, I am technically getting a little stronger, but just the fact of going and doing that for myself and doing a thing that is going to be good for my health and make me stronger, and hopefully ward off things like osteoporosis and whatnot, getting my blood flowing, like all of that is good for my well-being. So I guess it's getting exercise, but for me, it's also like building strength. It's not just like getting exercise. It's building strength, which I don't know if all exercise builds strength, probably. But this particular thing for me, and I think it's different for everybody. You know, some people like lifting weights. Some people really like running, like marathons. And some people like playing sports like basketball or hockey, or I don't know, you know, name your sport. For me, dance. It's dance. Dance is what's going to keep me interested. That's my thing. That's the thing that helps me feel motivated. All right. That helps me feel motivated to like get stronger. All right. Okay. Number 6, wearing, I don't know why I'm putting numbers to these. I guess to keep me on track. So, number 6 is wearing like soft clothing, like clothing that feels good to me. And for me, that also includes like natural breathable fibers. I love cotton. I love like wool, merino wool, cashmere, natural fibers, silk sometimes. It kind of depends. I don't have a lot of silk. But I really do like merino wool and cotton in particular. And when I'm wearing, and there are certain blends that I can do. Like I love rayon, actually. That's not a blend, but I actually don't know what rayon is. I think it's a natural fiber. Oh, I like bamboo too. Anyways, soft, natural, like breathable materials even cotton blends, whatever, just make me feel comforted. They make me feel, which makes me feel more confident. It makes me feel better about myself. It makes me feel more attractive because it's like my skin is comfortable and I'm more relaxed than I'm gonna be if I'm wearing, I've noticed that if I wear polyester, like straight up polyester, generally speaking, I feel sort of strangled a little bit and almost nauseous, like especially if it's hot out and it's not like breathable. There's something about it. So definitely like what I'm wearing and the fibers that I'm wearing and the cuts that I'm wearing. I like knit fabrics so much better than woven fabrics. Knit fabrics are usually more stretchy. They have more give. Whereas woven fabrics kind of don't have as much give, especially at certain angles. And so like you can kind of like, it's like if you have a jacket on that doesn't quite fit your shoulders, if it's made out of, or if it's really fitted, if it's made out of a woven material and you like move your shoulders like forward like that, I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing, but it's like it gets caught back there and you kind of can't move your arms and it's like it feels constricting. Whereas if you have a stretchier fabric or like a knit fabric, you can actually move. Anyway, I don't know if that's news to anybody, but just talking about stuff that makes me feel good. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to say, and this is number 7 on my list, and these aren't in any particular order from like best to worst or whatever. Again, it's just to help me organize my thoughts. Small acts of kindness. And when I wrote that, what I meant was me doing small acts of kindness. And that can be anything. That can be, complimenting the grocery clerk's hair. I've been going to the same grocery store for years and years and years and years and years. And so a lot of those people have worked there and like, I'll notice if like, oh, they bleached their hair and it's like, oh, I like the way that looks on you, oh, you bleached your hair. That looks great. Something like that. That's a small act of kindness. Helping, I heard about, this, I can't really afford to like buy people's groceries, but there was somebody, and I heard about somebody doing this for somebody. And so I was like, the opportunity arose and it was like, there was someone in one of those, carts where it's like a scooter and there's a cart, like there was obviously a mobility, like they didn't have great mobility, like there was a mobility issue. And so they were sitting and the cart was there and they were trying to like reach the groceries up in the thing. And I was just like, do you want help putting those on the belt? And they were like super appreciative of it. And all I was doing was waiting for the person to check out my groceries and the clerk. And so I like moved those onto the conveyor belt thing for this person. And they were super appreciative. And like, it made me feel good to be able to offer that help to somebody who needed it. It's like brightening somebody's day, just little tiny bit. So like these little tiny acts of kindness, and looking for those. Even, and like, this is kind of silly. My husband and I feed the squirrels around in the neighborhood, especially in the winter, which have like this bowl of nuts, and that feels like a little act of kindness, to like just give them a little bit extra support. They're living in the city. They're gonna get handouts from people. Like I don't actually have, I think that that's fine to do. I think people have different opinions on that, but yeah, I don't know. Things like that. Oh, even like you're driving your car and maybe it's like ambiguous as to whether like the pedestrian should go first or you should go first, as far as like they're far enough down the street that if you went, it would probably be okay. But like it's on the verge and it's like, just wait, you're in your car, especially like it's pouring rain. I remember my dad, I grew up in Arizona a lot of my life and it would be 115 out and my dad's like, I'm sitting in my air-conditioned car, like I'm letting the pedestrian go in front of me, because it's really hot out there and I'm comfortable in my car. Like I can wait the 30 seconds, minute that it's going to take, you know, to let this person go by. Little things like that, like so simple. So simple. Walking up to your kid or your mom or your partner or your sibling, whatever it is, your friend, and just like giving them a hug, you know? And not everybody likes hugs, so, you know, I guess that's something to consider. But, you know, in general, giving someone a hug or just kind of telling someone that you love them, I think that's also just kind of a little act of kindness that for me fills me up when that kind of thing happens. This video is going to be long. I have a lot to say here, but I'm all for making the world a better place. Like, I just want people to be happy, and I just want the world to be a kinder place. Anyway, and I if any of this is helpful in any little bit, that makes me happy. Okay, so the next thing that can affect my moods, and this is one that is a little bit out of my control, but it is a little bit in my control, and that is hormones. So I don't know how many, I think a lot of my audience is women in their 40s. Like, I think it is 100% women from what I've seen. So I don't know. That's what it tells me. And it only gives me, I think, statistics on people who make their accounts public. So that's part of it. So if you are not a woman between the ages of like 25 and 65, that's why. But anyway, that's what it tells me my main audience is. So my point being, wow, I'm getting off track. Part of that is where my hormones are right now. Is that I'm sure a lot of you are going through the same things I am. And I'm like smack dab in the middle, I think, of perimenopause. Like, I've started it. And like things changed at a certain point, and you know, it's like they continue to. But like sometimes my hormones can absolutely make or break me. Just they can absolutely make or break me. And so some of the things that I can do about that, okay? One is to step back and realize that that's what's going on. Realizing that it is PMDD because of my hormones and not because my husband is like trying to make me feel bad. Because like that's never the case. That's literally never the case. And yet my brain, when my hormones are a certain way, are like, why is he being mean to me? No, he's not being mean to you. He just accidentally like pushed the pillow into you like when he was asleep or something. You know, it's like anyway, I'm getting so off track. Hormones, I mean, sort of. So another way that you can affect them is your diet. There are things that you can eat or avoid to help your hormones. I know that flax and pumpkin have been, like pumpkin seeds, have been shown to, and sesame seeds. There's something with seeds. I don't actually remember the recipe. I'm going to try to give you a link down below to somebody who I follow on social media, who is a doctor who studies women's health and like women's endocrinology, maybe. Anyways, she has a recipe for these like balancing balls. I don't know what they're called. I can't remember right now. It actually just occurred to me. I would have done the research before filming this if I would have thought of it, but of course I didn't. Anyways, for me, dairy really affects my hormones negatively. So I've actually kind of cut it out of my diet entirely. Every once in a while I will eat it because I really like it. And it doesn't seem to have any like gastro effects. However, it does affect my hormones. I've noticed if I eat a lot of cheese, I'm addicted to it. Like it perpetuates itself where it's like, oh, I had some, I want more. I had some, I want more. Anyways, affects my hormones negatively. My PMDD tends to be worse, and my mood swings tend to be more like a wave that's like this rather than like, you know, kind of a little bit more balanced. So that's a big part of it. Getting enough sleep. And I have heard that when you are actually menstruating, you need a little bit more sleep. Also, it seems like the research is all saying these days that women need more than 8 hours of sleep in general. Everybody's different. I know that 9 hours is like a sweet spot for me. I generally tend to get 8 hours of sleep. I live in a one-room house with someone who only needs like 7 hours of sleep. So we have to kind of, you know, balance it out some way. And that's fine. And that seems to be okay. But definitely, like, the more sleep I get, sort of the better balanced my hormones are. The last thing I wanted to say about hormones is if you are feeling down, or feeling, you know, that like dread or anxiety or discomfort, irritability, like all of those things that sort of go with hormones, despair, hopelessness, like all of those things. Sometimes, not always, sometimes it can help to sort of take a step back and realize that it is hormones, and to know that like in 2 weeks or in a week or even tomorrow, you could feel differently, you know, that it will change if it is hormones, you know, like I know that there are a lot of different factors to these kinds of things. For me, hormones definitely play a huge role. So to just sit back and remember like, oh, this is going to change, you know? So just to be aware of it. I keep a calendar and that helps me. Okay. The next thing, okay, well, kind of already talked about this a little bit, but for me to feel good, eating healthy foods, that's gonna also depend on you. You know, some people really do well with like a vegan diet. Their body wants a vegan diet or a vegetarian diet, or some people want a keto diet. Some people do better eating all meat, not all meat, but you know, like eating meat. And I know that there are a lot of different opinions, thoughts about all of that. I'm only talking about the physical element of it, not the ethical or moral. I'm not talking about that, but just purely based on the physical reality of it. You know, I personally have low blood pressure. I tend to have low iron, get anemic really easily. So for me, I've tried to be a vegetarian in the past and it did not go well, and I passed out a lot. And so I think it's interesting because it's like if I have red meat in my diet, I do so much better. And I think that's very different for everybody. You know, some people do really well, like I said, with a vegan diet. I'm kind of on the other end of that. Also, just eating, when I'm eating more, like if I'm hungry and I eat some like corn chips, that's not gonna make me feel good. Sometimes it won't make me feel bad, but like if I instead eat like a hard-boiled egg and an apple or something, like probably I'm gonna feel a little bit better ultimately from that experience. Or like I have some, you know, like I make a meal for myself, like I have tacos with like spinach and beef, maybe some beans, maybe some tomatoes, you know. It's like having a little bit more balanced diet rather than, you know, I love carbs. Like I want to eat, I can't have gluten, but you know, rice and corn products in particular, like straight up rice, or popcorn, things like that. Like, but when I do that, I think it doesn't quite help my like mental health if it's already, you know, feeling a little bit low. So definitely, like, I don't know if you are what you eat is the right thing to say, but food can affect the way that I feel. And I will even feel, I mean, well, there's also, I made a video recently about what I do about my skin. I'll tag that with a card, but what I do for my skin that makes my skin happy. And for me, definitely diet affects that. Eating sugar, it's mostly sugar. And of course, for me, gluten is just a no-no. So gluten and sugar will just make my face just unhappy. It's like I get acne, inflammation, my whole body, which inflammation with acne really hurts. And so anyway, there are just certain things like avoiding sugar, unfortunately, is a way that I have helped me feel better about myself. And I should clarify, I'm not saying don't eat the corn chips. I'm saying add other things to it. That's what I meant. The next thing, completing small tasks. Okay, so what I mean by this is, so say that like the little handle on the drawer, you know, on a drawer in your bathroom, like the screw came out, okay? And like you haven't gone and gotten it. And it's been that way for, oh, I don't know, 5 weeks or something. Not that I know any of this from personal experience and still have a kitchen drawer that doesn't have a handle on it after a few months. But especially if it's a really simple fix, like just the screw came out and or it's just loose and you just need to like go get a screwdriver out of wherever the screwdriver is, grab it, and then like tighten it. I know that can feel like a big task, but like if you can find it in yourself to just be like, okay, I'm just gonna do that, just that one task. If you're, you know, feeling kind of if you just do that one thing, if you go and you fix that drawer, it's most likely gonna take you less than 5 minutes. 8-minute task maybe, you know? It's only 8 minutes. Like, it just wouldn't take any time at all. And sometimes it's just hard to see that in the moment. But once you've done it, you're just like, yes, I did that thing. Like, cool. And it's a mood booster. It's a confidence builder, honestly, because it's also like, yeah, I did that. And that's great. Another thing that I can think of is like, I will just think of like one cleaning task that I can do. I hate cleaning. I hate it. I have OCD and textural things are hard for me and it feels gross and it feels icky. And so, and I have this like, you know, contamination, like germophobic thing, which also kind of gets into textural things. And so cleaning is really yucky for me and it's really, really hard. But if I just do like a little, oh, and also the smell of like cleaning chemicals and things is really, really hard for me. And so if I can just do like one thing, if I can just be like, okay, I'm gonna take some Windex. I am going to clean the bathroom mirror. And then I do that and I will feel so good. It's like confidence building. Sometimes it will lead to more cleaning. In fact, often it will lead to more cleaning. Like often I'll be like, I'm just gonna clean the mirror and I'll end up cleaning the mirror, vacuuming the rug, cleaning the windows, you know, dusting the top of the shelf and maybe tidying up my desk, right? And then it's like 45 minutes later, I'm like, yes, I did all of that. And now, you know, probably my allergies are better because I dusted, well, maybe not like right after because the dust, but the carpet is not going to have all the dust and dander and whatnot. And the dust is cleaned off of the shelf. And I don't know, there's little things like that once they're completed. Also, food for thought on this. Actually, I'm gonna talk about this later. All right, the next thing. This video is gonna be so long. Sometimes that's necessary. Okay, so, putting mascara on. Sometimes that just gives me all the confidence in the world. Not all the confidence in the world, but it'll be a little confidence boost and it'll make me feel attractive. It'll make me feel good about myself. I actually have quite long lashes, but they're not black, especially at the tips. I guess they're like dark right by my eye, but then as you get to the tips, they're like lighter, I think, because then when I put mascara on, I'm just like, whew, and then I have eyelashes for days, and it's like, yes, I like my eyelashes, you know? And so that's just a little thing, but it works for me. Okay, next thing on my list, this is number 12, for anyone who cares about the numbers. Getting outside. Sometimes it's really hard to motivate to do that. when you're like sitting all cozy in your house and it's cold out, or you're just sitting in your house and you're comfortable. It's really hard to want to get up and go outside, but it's so good for you in so many ways. In the Pacific Northwest, it tends to be somewhat not humid, but like there's moisture in the air. There are like negative ions. Like water has negative ions, which is, I've heard, is supposed to be like kind of good for you. I don't really know what the science is on that or anything, but I've heard that. There's also like getting outside, being with the trees. There's like, they're producing oxygen for you, which is really good for your brain. Just breathing more, like going on a walk outside, getting a little bit more like deep breaths. Also the sun, even, you know, when it's cloudy like this, for me, I love this, but some people really like the sun. In fact, most people I know prefer the sun. And the sun, you know, you get that vitamin D, as long as, you know, protect your skin from it, wear a hat, like sunscreen. But, you know, it's good for you. We're animals, right? Like we are part of nature. And so like, let's go be part of nature, you know? And I'm not talking about, you know, go camping in a tent for 7 days. I actually don't recommend that unless you really like that. But just going outside, going for a walk around your neighborhood. I'm really lucky. We have a ton of places near Portland, you know, Forest Park. It's like I can drive, I think it's 4 miles, and just walk through the forest for hours and hours and hours and hours and actually even get lost. So we have a lot of really great places to like hike and get outside, or even just go sit at a park, or just go sit in your yard. Okay, this kind of has to do with the cleaning thing in a way, or the small task thing, but like very specifically tidying up. So I tend to let clutter build up. It's just, I don't know, it's my neurotype, like however I'm wired, stuff just, you know, because I'm like, oh, I'm using that, I might use it tomorrow, whatever, that I want to remember that thing, but it starts to add up after a while, and things will look like my desk is quite a mess right now. I have 9 of these little boxes just sitting on my desk for like a week now, and those don't need to be there. Yeah, like I need to recycle this. It's been sitting there for a week. I have 2 pairs of reading glasses here, and just random things sitting out, like Post-it notes everywhere. Anyways, whatever. It's cluttered. And so cleaning up clutter in one area can just help you kind of reset. And then once you're done, it's like, A, you just have a space that's just easier to work in, and B, you've done a thing. One thing that can sometimes help me with things like that, like putting things away or cleaning things up. And I don't so much do this anymore. I did this as a kid, and sometimes I will still do this as an adult. But for example, when I used to clean my room, I'd be like, okay, you have to clean up 10 things, and then you can eat a Skittle. Or I guess, because nowadays, like, there's no way that I would eat Skittles. But nowadays it would be more like, okay, I'm going to clear off 10 things from my desk, and then I get to watch like 5 TikToks, right? Like something like that, like some dopamine, like seeking activity, which ironically, cleaning off my desk, tidying up my desk, ultimately, I'm going to get a dopamine hit from that, because when I see it afterwards, I'm like, oh, this is so calming and relaxing. This feels so good that my space is neat and tidy and not dusty and cluttered. And so I'm going to get a dopamine hit from that. However, in the process of doing that, or like getting the motivation to do that, sometimes I need to like offer myself something that I know is going to give me that little dopamine hit. So yeah, it can be food. It can be, I don't know, like I get to, I'm borrowing a dog this weekend. But if you have like a pet or something, it's like, okay, well then I get to go pet my cat for 5 minutes or whatever. And it's like, okay, and then I pick up 10 more things and I get to, so whatever it is that you're going to choose, you know, this could also work with like, I'm going to clean 10 makeup brushes and then I get to watch 5 TikToks, or you get the idea. It's like this sort of bribery thing. I don't know. I have to do that. Maybe you are more well adjusted in this way and you can just like tidy up your whole desk and like that's fine and you can like get up and do it. For me, I have to like bribe myself sometimes with, I don't know, rewards and things. So anyway, there's that. Tidying up. What does this say? This says 14, intentionally practicing gratitude. Oh, this is such a good one. I went through a year of gratitude. I forget if I've talked about this on this channel before. But I went through 2012 was my year of gratitude. I can't believe that was so long ago. Wow. Anyways, I intentionally practiced gratitude consistently. Like, I wouldn't say like every moment of every day, but I very, very intentionally made it a focus of my life in that year. And I do feel like and it was more like 2012 through 2013, like kind of summer to summer. So I guess it wasn't, whatever, doesn't matter. Gratitude though. A few ways to do this is, if something happens that's disappointing, say somebody cuts you off in traffic, right? In like kind of a scary way, or like, they're just kind of a jerk about it in some way or another. Instead of going the route of like, oh, you know, getting angry. I don't know. And feeling kind of, oh, I hope that they have a bad day or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Finding gratitude for the fact that they didn't hit you, you know, gratitude that you were paying enough attention, that you were, you know, you're a good driver. And so there wasn't an accident, you know, gratitude that you're not standing there, you know, with a dent in your car and like your neck hurts, right? Like things like that. That's one way to do it. Another thing is gratitude journaling. That one, I don't know that so much worked for me. Maybe I think I would sort of kind of list like the things that I was grateful for. Oh, another good example of like being grateful for things that seem like a bummer. A lot of my family lives in another state and I really miss them. And I used to be a lot. I would get really upset about that and I would miss them a lot. And then it sort of occurred to me one day, I was like, wow, like, or maybe I heard someone say it, but I was like, how lucky am I to have people in my life that I love that much, that I miss that much? Like, how lucky am I? I'm actually grateful. And then, you know, I can like call them and say, hey, I miss you. And I'm grateful that I get to call them and that, you know, and maybe I can even plan a trip to go see them sometime. And so it's like that's another example of turning something that's disappointing into something positive. All right. This video is gonna be so long. Another way, this was something that I sort of came across on accident, like it just happened. I was working really hard at this at the time and it became more natural. Actually, at first I was having to try really hard to be grateful for things and to really stop and go, okay, be grateful right now. You know, what are you grateful for? Think about it a lot, you know, and I'd have to like keep on reminding myself to do it. And now I kind of do it automatically. And this was one of these moments that this happened to me when I was going through this. I was doing this sort of, it wasn't really a meditation, but it was sort of, I was just thinking like, oh, I'm really grateful for my mom and my dad. I'm grateful that they're my parents. Oh, I'm really grateful for my brother and his wife. and their 4 kids. And I think they only had 2 kids at the time, but you know, whatever. Oh my gosh, it doesn't matter. Okay. And then, you know, I didn't know my husband at the time, so I wasn't grateful for him yet. Now he would figure into this. And then I was like, oh, I'm really grateful. Because I was like, oh, just think of like 12 people you're grateful for, 10 people or 5 people, whatever. I was like, start thinking about the people that you're grateful for in your life. Because maybe I was feeling lonely at the time. Anyway, so I started thinking about the people that I was grateful for. And then I was like, oh, this friend of mine, I'm really grateful for them. And then, you know, because I thought of them, I thought of these like other 6 people that were sort of in that friend group that I'm grateful for, you know, not as close to all of them, but still just grateful for them. And then, you know, something triggered a memory of this other person. And like, as this was going, there were like so many people, and it just kept going. Like, I was like, oh, I'm grateful for, you know, that theater director when I was a kid who really believed in me and like gave me opportunities. And I'm really grateful for that teacher who listened to what I said, you know, in my 12th grade humanities class, when a lot of my teachers were just like, yeah, okay, enough questions, Anna. So as I kept going, just more and more and more and more and more and more and more would like pop into my head. And what I thought was just going to be like something to sort of, you know, put a Band-Aid on something became this like soothing, healing, like balm. I think it was a loneliness thing. And anyways, it really, really helped me see that I had a lot of people in my life. So gratitude can make me feel really good. Let's see. Okay, here's one. This is cool. Make a to-do list. I don't know about you, but sometimes if I'm feeling very blah, like I'm like scrolling on my phone and I know that's not actually what I want to be doing, but I just can't stop, you know? I don't know if any of you do that. But if I just stop and I'm like, okay. And a lot of times I will do that if I'm feeling overwhelmed. And just kind of don't know where to start. And so if I make a to-do list, often that'll give me an idea of like, well, okay, I need to take the trash out, and I've been knowing that I need to take the trash out, you know, for like probably a whole day. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna go take the trash out. Like, that is something that I can do in 2 minutes, and it's gonna be easy, and then it'll be done, and then I can cross it off my to-do list. Crossing things off a to-do list feel very good to me. So sometimes making a to-do list and then, you know, crossing them off over the next few days or whatever. Sometimes I never cross them off. Sometimes, and this goes in waves. Sometimes I won't, sometimes I will, but it is a good thing to remember, at least for me, that if I make a to-do list, it will make me feel more confident that I can achieve what I need to do. Sometimes, you know, making a list can feel overwhelming because it's like, oh, all of these things I have to do. But if you actually break it down into the smaller parts of making a list, that's a little bit more doable, if that makes sense. The last thing I have, and this feels very anticlimactic, is if you're feeling blah, drink a glass of water. And I mean that sincerely. I think, like, I've seen those memes that are like, and I don't remember which one is which, but it's something like, are you feeling angry at everybody? Like, go have a snack. Like, do you feel like everybody hates you? Go take a nap. You know, do you feel hopeless? Like, there's no point or something. It's like, drink a glass of water, whatever the things are. And it's true. Like, sometimes if you're dehydrated, your body's like screaming at you that you want to be more hydrated. That can help. It can also be this like reset. It's like, I'm doing something good for myself. I'm helping my body to feel good. All right. Well, that's my list today. Please, please, please add yours to the comments. let's build a community where we're really like lifting each other up and helping each other out. And yeah, what works for you, because everybody's different, and what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. And I'm sure that all of you have some really good ideas. I'm sure a lot of you want good ideas. Put them in the comments. Let me know what you do to make yourself feel good, to boost your confidence, to just brighten up your life. I'm not sure. I still don't know what I'm going to call this video. Maybe it'll keep changing. You can do that, you know, you can edit like the title afterwards, which I think is weird. I don't know if that hurts your like statistics or whatever. YouTube is a mystery to me. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. Anyway, this video is already almost an hour long, so I am going to say see you later, alligator. So I'm going to sign off. Again, hope you're having a great day. If you're not, I really hope something happens that just boosts your mood a little bit, whether it be something you do or something someone else does for you. Anyways, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day. It will brighten all the way if we keep on the sunny side of life.